Human rights leaders urge Congress to take open-minded views on Bitcoin. This one's fun. Human rights activists have urged Congress to learn about Bitcoin and its use in nations suffering conflict and hyperinflation. A letter detailing the utility of Bitcoin and stablecoins for people facing political repression and economic hardship has been sent to the U.S. Congress by 20 human rights activists. The letter was addressed to the likes of House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi and both the minority and majority leaders of the Senate, Charles E. Schumer and Mitch McConnell. It outlines personal accounts of how Bitcoin and stablecoins have been used by people in nations suffering conflict, like Ukraine, as well as those bit by hyperinflation, such as Venezuela. Now, that was a big thing. Venezuela was a big thing on the last bull run cycle, and I believe it was Digibyte that got utilized in most cases in Venezuela. Quote, when currency catastrophe struck Cuba, Afghanistan, and Venezuela, Bitcoin gave our compatriots refuge, end quote, the letter states. When crackdowns on civil liberties befall Nigeria, Belarus, and Hong Kong, Bitcoin helped keep the fight against authoritarianism afloat. The thing is if you are talking to a government that is leaning more and more heavily into authoritarian behavior, petitioning them by saying, hey, it helps against authoritarianism is kind of funny. Just a thought. A Ukrainian activist said Bitcoin has directly assisted in fundraising for soldiers in the fight against Russia. Quote, for me, Bitcoin is not just technology. It has literally saved the lives of my friends and many Ukrainians, end quote, Kozlowska said. There we go, maybe. Without it, we would not have been able to raise money so quickly to pay for protective equipment for soldiers in the early days of the Russian invasion. So that is the petition going on. Is Bitcoin doing what it was meant to do? And to a certain extent, I think articles like these do display that Bitcoin is performing the task at which it was originally created for, which is giving power back to the people in situations where the government is no longer able to facilitate the well-being of their population. And so I think this is a net positive at the end of the day, but I will go back to the fact that I think this is a part of what I would refer to as the digital transformation. And it doesn't mean that things get easier. It means that things get more difficult. And I think from the perspective of U.S. citizens, it's extremely important to pay attention to, especially surrounding, of course, the economy and where we sit at with the threat of inflation and so on. I think the next couple of years are going to be very, very telling surrounding cryptocurrency and what it can do for the general public, specifically the individual, and enabling the sovereignty of that individual from a financial perspective. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.